One.
Hello and welcome back to the Off the Script podcast with your host for the evening, Jermaine, Joe, and special guests, Jack Richardson, Jack Thorburn, and Chris McCreadie. Take your top off. Chris.
There you go. Welcome back, guys, to Off the Script for another episode. This time we've got some returning guests and guests as well. So we've got Thorburn, the big Welsh ball of muscle that he is, Jack Richardson, and we've got another guest, first time on, Chris McCreadie. Chris, would you like to introduce yourself for the first time?
Yeah, so I'm Chris McCreadie, or I'm Khifie West, whatever you want to kind of go by.
Khifie.
Yeah, we can just go by that. I mean, it's totally up to you. So I'm from obviously up in Scotland, a bit far away from you guys, and probably far away from like everybody that's watching, because I seem to just be kind of in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I'm from up in Scotland. I am 22. I'm a junior bodybuilder. That is really all I've got to say.
And you're absolutely massive.
Yeah.
That was a cameo appearance from Jack. Oh, he's back.
I feel like, Chris, you're being a bit subtle here. You're a unit, and you've got some very impressive numbers in
Thank
this.
Thank you.
Which I don't think anyone really in juniors at the moment can match you on, to be honest.
I was actually just deadlifting like 5 minutes ago, and I pulled 290 for 4, but
that's insane, man. That is insane.
Did you record it?
Hey, man.
oh yeah, of course it's going to be. I'll upload it tomorrow.
That's so.
Were you listening to some horrendous happy hardcore tune?
I was listening to the exact same.
Shotgun.
The exact same song that I listen to absolutely every single set or top set. I was listening to that.
Brilliant,
Some
man.
serious hard Dutch
Oh,
cut.
my head
Dutch
on a
wall
listening to that,
just going banging.
That's pretty much it. I don't know.
What is it with the hard bass for you? Why is that your song?
Works, man. It does work. I'm the same.
It's always just been I don't know. It's always just been something that's worked, and that specific song for my top end sets, it's always one set. I'll not listen to that specific song for the rest of the session. I'll not listen to it. I'll listen to it very rarely outside the gym. But
Okay.
It's that one set, and then obviously I've got my iPad and everything, so I'll watch the video and everything like that, and it's the video, and it'll get to a certain point, then the iPad will leave, and then it'll just take it'll kind of just take away from there. But it's weird because I don't listen to it any other time. It's just always that one top end set. It's always deadlifts as well. Do you know what I mean? But it seems to work. So
yeah. So it's just one of those top set rituals for you. We all have them, little things that we do, I guess, before we go into a top set.
Yeah, sure.
I'll listen. The only time I'll listen to, I call it Jack Thorburn music. More heavier stuff. The only time I listen to that now is when I'm doing top sets and I'm actually
No, that's the kind of music I listen to in the back.
I'll just listen to Biggie outside the gym, or just hip hop, and the rest of it is But yeah,
I will listen to similar music. I'll listen to hardcore music throughout training as well. But it's you know what I mean. You've got specific songs that will work.
Sure.
Something's up here that makes me think that if I don't listen to that song, then perhaps I might not kind of be able to take myself away from where I am, and do you know what I mean? Go into that set, but I don't know. It's weird. It's just, but that is what it is.
Richardson, what's your top set song?
What's my top set song?
Yeah.
Do you know
It'd be the Take Me Out intro music. That's probably his top end song.
Jingle ladies. Now, to be fair, when I'm lifting, I sort of zone out from music.
Yeah.
So, I just don't listen. I don't hear music. You can fucking play any shit song in the background.
Bit Mariah Carey.
It won't really affect me. I've sent fucking videos of my fucking sets to AJ, and he's like, "What shit music are you listening to?" I was like, "I didn't even realize that was playing in the background. It's like fucking Ariana Grande."
I think it's more the music that's playing before the set.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know what you mean. Like the only time I ever notice what song's playing is if I'm like struggling and I take like a little breather and I draw upon that. But whilst I'm actually lifting, you don't really acknowledge it. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I find like at the beginning of my session, I'm wearing my headphones, and then I get to a point in my session where I just take them off, and because I've just got that, I'm just focused and like
It's in the game.
Yeah. And then music doesn't really become a thing anymore.
Yeah. So I just got back from training with my mate. Like I finally got some fucking kit, so I finally got some actual weight, and he was just in the garden at his house, and we were like, "What should we listen to?" "Oh, that's fine. Some Swedish Viking music for about an hour and a half." It's so relaxing and so calming. But then when it kicks in, you got the massive drums and shit going. I'm like, yeah, I can train with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you been up to then, Jermaine?
Me? Oh, honestly.
No, the other one.
Oh yeah. You. Why is you need to change your name from Jermaine Sullivan? I am the real Jermaine Sullivan. We all know that.
Stand up.
I've just been I've come back home for a couple of days because it's my first sort of like opportunity to come back into a bubble as such. So I've come back home just for a few days. I'm getting my ass kicked by hay fever that lives here, which I'm no longer immune to because I've been living in Birmingham for too long. And yeah, it's been all right. Just like I brought like occlusion bands and like banded like just light bits of kit so I can just basically train arms all weekend. And that's the only bit of working I'll do this weekend. But then obviously straight back to it when I get back and have the kit. And it's also my first week back in full-time work. It's kicking my ass, not gonna lie. Just like this, like the steps now, like the act of doing work steps on top of what I'd normally maybe do. That extra bit of expenditure, I'm already noticing it's kicking my ass a bit, which is good.
What are you doing for work?
I work in a university accommodation.
Yeah, I knew you did that. I didn't know it. So how are you? What are you doing for work when you're there now?
So at the moment, it's going through every single flat in every single block in every single room and checking that they haven't burnt the fucking flat down and haven't pissed on the walls and haven't, left shit stains in the toilet or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I was a student once. I know.
Basically, just checking, and they leave a lot of shit as well. So I've now got a collection of every fast food joint's employees' gear. So I've got a Burger King outfit, a Subway outfit, and McDonald's. I can cosplay. It's good.
You could turn those into like some cool vests or something. Like
I can.
Ones.
I like the Burger King one because it's denim.
Is it?
It's a real fashion statement. I'm telling you.
I like that in uniform.
Yeah, just start wearing them on your OnlyFans, Jermaine.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Needs must.
Fancy a bite?
Yeah. It's a double whopper.
I got a whopper.
Right.
Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, no. And it's a bit monotonous at the moment. It's pretty easy work, but you do end up doing a lot in the day. I'm a lot more active than I was before, where I was basically stuck in an office on days that I was in work, or just stuck in my room on call for work. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. It just feels good to be outside in the world and feel semi-normal. But yeah, aside from that, not much has changed for me. What about you, Jack?
Which one?
Thorburn.
Not well. I'm currently looking for a job now. Obviously teaching. I've got an interview down in like Cornwall way on Thursday.
Cool.
So I got a nice little trek down there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stay overnight down there, but we'll see. I've already been searching for. That was the first thing I did when I saw the job. When they came back to me, was search for a gym down there. So
Nice.
I've already scouted the gyms out, but
Have you found a place that you can train at?
well, not. I don't mean when I go down there. I mean when I actually, if I was to
Oh,
move
when you
down
work
there.
there. Yeah.
Luckily, it's fallen on a rest day, which is I'm really fortunate to. So I haven't had to change my days or anything. So, but yeah. So that's me.
I went down there for the summer with my girlfriend last year. It was really nice. It's a nice place to be in.
Yeah.
It's Falmouth, so it's quite a way down.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We went.
It's right down, but yeah.
It's nice. It's quiet as well. You get your steps in without worrying about getting stabbed. So happy days. That's the problem I would take. If it's past 7 o'clock, all over.
What about Jack?
That was a complete and utter clusterfuck. That was.
Yeah.
Christ.
We're bugging out for a second.
That was a good freeze. That was.
Yeah.
No, I think they asked you about yourself, didn't they?
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what? I've just been fucking bodybuilding. I'm just doing the same shit, eating, training, shitting.
On the dole.
Yeah, pretty much on the dole, man. No, just obviously my online coaching at the side. I'm being furloughed from the gym that I work in, so
right.
I've literally got all I'm doing to actually work is my online coaching, and the rest of the time I could just focus on bodybuilding, which is this lockdown has been very productive in that manner because
good.
Yeah, there's no real fucking distractions, anything. So it's been blessed, really.
Yeah. Last time you were on, you were doing you'd started doing some shifts at a local.
Yeah.
You set that off since.
So I was working at Tesco at the beginning of the lockdown because I was unsure about everything.
Yeah.
It was a nice bit of pocket money. I wasn't sure that I was going to be furloughed from the gym that I work at, Apex.
Yeah.
And it turned out I did, and they were taking the piss with the shifts. It was getting more and more. I was doing 30,000 steps a day, and then it turned into fucking night shifts. I said before the job, I was like, I'll do anything in the day as long as it's not night shifts, because I'm a bit thingy with my sleep. I like to sleep.
I will never do night shift.
Yeah, you need to sleep.
What they did was right, okay, you start at 6. Oh, can you come in at 5? Can you come in at 4? And it turned out I was doing 2 a.m. till 9 a.m. And I couldn't sleep. My appetite went down the pan. I was like, fuck this shit. As soon as I found out I was being furloughed, I was like, well,
I'm out.
Later, guys. I literally walked in. I'm like, I'm no longer working here now. See you.
But I'll have a meal deal on discount.
Yeah. But can I use my discount, please? One last time.
One last time.
Yeah, no, it's last year when I was working a couple of different jobs, I ended up having to do a lot of late nights in prep, and honestly, it was the worst fucking experience of my life.
I
absolutely hated it.
I've been there with jobs before, and sometimes you're in a position where you've got to do it. You've got to do. You just got to work for money. You need money at the end of the day. I used to work in Tesco years ago, and I was in a fortunate position where I could do anything else on the sideline, which was a little bit more optimal for bodybuilding. So, I just had to fucking bodybuild around that. But now, fortunately, I am in that position. So I've been in that position before, and you just got to get your head down.
Yeah.
Crack on and do the best that you can.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Is that similar with you then, Chris, in regards what you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm outside of everything else, I'm a personal trainer, so it's all of that's kind of stopped now, and then obviously we are 2 or 3 weeks behind you guys in England. Okay. So by the time gyms aren't looking to kind of open for quite a while yet. So, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I know you guys are maybe looking at like the next 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, but I think we fall like 2 weeks after you or something. So,
okay.
Like pubs and that are not open yet or anything like that here. Shops have just opened, like your kind of smaller places and that, but so
you're living the bodybuilding dream as well.
Pretty much. It's actually been, like,
I'm the dog.
It's actually been pretty like beneficial. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty much been, you know what I mean, like wake up, eat, train, sleep kind of thing. It's been good as much as. Like, for a while, I was obviously, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're jobless, but at the same time, it's really good at the other side because all you've got to do is, like, what you're kind of working towards, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got its pros and cons.
I've been having naps. I've been introducing naps because, like, that's what the pros do. I've just been calling it growth naps. I've just been...
Hey, nothing will be a nap.
I was like,
Jack's just living in Kuwait now. That's it.
I am a Kuwait bodybuilder.
He's a part of the camel crew.
I've had a nap. I'm like, I've justified it in my head. I'm thinking, this pros do this, and this is just only going to grow me. I'm going to grow during my nap. So
I think actually, I started having like unscheduled. Just ended up having them naps at the start of this year, and the first this year while I was napping January, February. Probably some of my best growing years recently. That was my best time for growth in recent memory.
It helps, man.
Yeah, honestly.
You grow more.
Question to do with that.
You grow more in your naps than like any other phase of your recovery. You know what I mean? Like that half an hour nap that you might have. That's like.
That was it means a lot.
Wake up with 24-inch arms. It's a good question on that. It's like, hang on. Right, so you've got a choice getting an extra 2 hours of sleep or getting in that final meal of the day. Which one do you go for if only one is possible?
Final meal.
Yeah, I'm getting
Meal.
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
But why you could go to sleep for another hour and a half and get up to eat.
Yeah, get up. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of ways you could go about it, but like you got to get that meal in. Like,
would you guys consider combining meals at that point?
Well, that's what I was going to say. If that becomes a regular thing, you could potentially spread the calories from that one meal throughout the. Like, that's what I've ended up doing. I used to be 6 meals a day, but I was always staying up till like 11, half 11 to get the last one in. So I was just like, what's the point? I'd rather get an hour and a half more sleep. And I just spread it out throughout the day then. So
yeah.
Jack, are you still doing like 4:30 start?
No, that's why, like, obviously this time's been a godsend as well. So I've been, well, saying that, if I do cardio, I do still get up at like 4:45.
Yeah.
But on the days I don't do cardio, it's like 5:30 get up, I eat, and then I'll go back to bed for a little bit.
Right.
But like, I've started training earlier though at the moment, so I train at just before 10, and I get 2 meals in before then. So I'm still getting up fairly early.
Yeah.
But like, I think I'm getting a lot more sleep now though, which is nice. But realistically, when I go back to teaching, it'll probably go back to what it was anyway, you know. But I'm not too bothered. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's a blessing that you get those extra hours in. I want to get into Chris and his training. I'm sure, like, obviously a lot of people know what you're about. Why don't you tell us, like, what is your training and how do you go about it? Because you're a bit different than everyone else.
Okay, so like I favour your kind of what's classed as like not optimal bro split. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like a typical bodybuilding split.
It's not called a bro split anymore. It's called a pro split.
Pro split.
Yeah. Pro split.
So like, do you know what I mean? I'm gonna have like my international chest days and all that on a Monday kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just been a case of like, I'm not against any other split, but I have like tried doing other splits, but I've always found my way back to your kind of typical bodybuilding split, one body part a day. Now, you could say that it's more than one body part a day because I do hit arms every single day, whether that just being kind of between 3 and 5 sets, maybe. Do you know what I mean? So it's not as if I'm doing like 5 exercises and 3 full sets each kind of thing. So it's between maybe 3 and 5 or 3 and 6 working sets.
Okay.
But like I said, it was kind of the way that I was brought up. You know what I mean? I've never kind of been, before I got into things like Instagram and stuff like that and properly started learning more kind of stuff, I never knew anything like that up until maybe, I don't know, maybe 2017, 2018 is when I kind of properly started learning. So I've always just kind of favoured this split. I've always just kind of went in, I've done one body part, but the way it works out, I am ending, like, every kind of 5 days is going back to normal. So it's not as if it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then off on the weekend. You know what I mean? It's getting to like maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So like sometimes my week's starting on Saturday, if you get me.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead of going like Monday to Friday off, start again, Monday to Friday off, start again.
So it's not uniform, like over 7 days. You just whatever it falls on, it falls on.
Pretty much. So it's just, I feel like it's always worked for me. I've never kind of been in a position where I've like stopped progressing that much that I've had to change anything up kind of thing. Like with training. So it's just been a case of kind of come in, get it done, get out, and that's really it. But at the same time, I do favour like my really big moves, like obviously your squats, like pretty much all your barbell moves. So like things like squats and deadlifts, for instance, might take up like, 40 minutes to an hour of the session, depending what my top set's going to be.
Okay. How do you come up with your like top set for a session then? Because I see you like you sort of go across various different rep ranges, like over a course of like months or whatever. Because I see you doing, sometimes you'll do a single, sometimes it'll be 3s, and other times you'll go even higher reps. Like how do you go about that? Is it like
I pretty much just always go by how I feel on the day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like my warm-up sets are dictators for what my top set's going to be. But sometimes before the gym, like even maybe a week before, leading up to say like a deadlift session, I might have a set in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like today, for instance, like today, 290 for 4 wasn't the planned top set. Yeah. What I was wanting to come in and do is like I filmed the full thing, and it was like I was going to come in and do 260 like for as many as, and then back off with 220 for paused as many as. Yeah. But I done my top set I done warm up on 220, and then basically I was treating that I was going to 260 for my working set. But the second that I pulled 260, it just felt like it shouldn't have been a working set. Right. So I immediately dropped it and then went 290. And in my head, all I had was 4 reps because my top set on 290 has always been 3. So that's how that ended up. I did still back off with 220, but you know what I mean? Instead of doing 260,
it was. So you're very much like, people always like knock it, go by feel almost. Like actually feeling the muscle, actually going through that as like a way of setting goals. That's kind of like, you're kind of very, I hate to say old school, because it's not, but you have that sort of like older mentality where you're not necessarily going to go and look at percentages or anything like that. You're dictating like...
Yeah, that's one of the things. So it's like, I could go into the gym, do you know what I mean? Like I could go in and my top set next week might be 260 for as many as, because that's how, like that's maybe what's going to be there on the day. Like, okay. I never know what's kind of, I don't logbook or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I always kind of go, but I'll obviously have my days that I'm going to train, what I'm going to train. Like today, for instance, was back day. Yeah. So I'll always know what I'm going to train. But at the same time, when I go into the gym, some days I might have like sets in my head that I'm going to do and exercises that I'm going to do. But when I get in, my warm-ups will obviously be the determining factor of what my top end sets are going to be. So some days it might feel really good and I might surprise myself, like today for instance, or some days I might come in and I might feel terrible and they might not be up where they've been in like the past sessions. You know what I mean? They're not going to be really, really shit, but they're not probably going to be really, really good, or what I would class as good.
Okay.
I think
That's probably you. Go on, Jack. Go on.
No, I was going to say, like, I think a lot of people see what you do and they think it's so abnormal and it's so away from what everyone else does. But realistically, you squat, you bench, and you deadlift a stupid amount of weight. You always look to progress those 3 lifts.
Yeah.
You could probably do whatever you wanted outside of that. And the fact that you're lifting the weights you are on those 3 and you progress them, you are going to grow.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's just going to happen.
You know, it's going to happen. You don't do reps in reserve, do you?
No.
You know, like, you're always hitting failure. So if that's the case, if you're always hitting failure, you're probably gonna progress, because your nutrition's on point, your recovery's on point. You know, the only time it may not work out is when you're dieting for a show, like, and you've got to manage a few other things then. But if you've got the calories coming in that you have, it's always going to work. So I think people need to realize that it's the sole determinant of progression is effort.
Yeah.
Realistically. So as long as you've got that in common, it doesn't really matter. Which is why there's always an argument like high volume, low volume. I think ultimately, if you're training your ass off and you are recovering from what you're doing, you're going to progress, really.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. But like, it's always getting overcomplicated because of all of the new modern day rubbish. Like, somebody saying, like, if somebody was to come up to you and you were to tell them now that you basically just go into the gym and train your arse off and go out and recover, that's way too basic. You know what I mean? That's like, that's like, somebody would look at you and go, do you know what I mean? You're talking shit. There's got to be way more than that. But the reality is, like, that's all it's going to take. Do you know what I mean?
When, for everyone, when was their best period of growth?
When you're first starting out and you don't really know what the fuck you're doing, you just train your ass off.
Yeah.
And
why is that? Because you just go in, you don't know what you're doing.
You just do it.
Train.
You
Just train.
You train, you go home, you eat. That's it.
I think enjoyment's a massive factor. And with Khifie, you enjoy the way you train.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're able to pour everything into it because it's not a chore.
That's it.
Enjoyment.
That's another thing. That's why I always say, like, as much as now bodybuilding has grown to be like a really big passion of mine, it'll always lead back to like the training side. I never started training to become a bodybuilder. Yeah. 100%. Do you know what I mean?
It's the saying that you compete because you train. You don't train to compete. So you don't go to the gym with the end goal of getting on stage. That's just the byproduct of it. It happens, you know.
I think that's the best. I think that's the best sort of way to go about it. Like the few people I've met who tend to be beginners who come to me and end up saying, "I want to be a bodybuilder on a stage." A lot of the time, they fall off very quickly because they just don't understand what they're actually getting into, and they don't understand where their actual passion lies there.
Well, they haven't got the love for it, really, have they?
Yeah, it's just they just see a bunch of jack dudes on stage. They probably see some clout on Instagram at the back of that, and they're interested. Whereas, like, you know, if you're 16 years old and you stepped in the gym and you touched the dumbbell and it's like electricity from day one, then, like, you know, right? That's it. Like,
many people get into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And you know, like when the actual difficulty of prep approaches you, they're not able to hack it. You need to have.
We had a question on that as well. It was like, why did we bodybuild? Because obviously we went in that with the previous guest. Carry on, Jack Richardson. Why do you bodybuild? Why do you train? So now.
Well, literally, it's out of enjoyment. Like it's never been. Oh, I've got to do this. I want to do this. You know, and it's like I think most bodybuilders have started off in the gym, not thinking they're going to be bodybuilders.
Mm-hmm.
The training and because they enjoy training, and then the bodybuilding comes after. And I think that's how it comes about. Yeah.
And like over time, like your conceptions and stuff change. Like I think probably when I first saw a bodybuilder in a magazine, the first thing I probably thought was that is fucking disgusting. And then after a year, maybe 2 years, I was like, that actually looks really fucking cool. Like, I can see the ethic that's gone into creating a body like that, a body of work, quite literally.
Like I remember when I was a kid, I can remember seeing videos of Ronnie Coleman and Paul Dillette.
Yeah.
And they genuinely used to scare the shit out of me. Like I was actually scared.
Yeah.
Paul Dillette used to like really scare me. But,
he's an intimidating looking dude.
Hey.
Nice.
It's strange, isn't it? Because I went through that phase where you look at bodybuilders and you think, oh, disgusting, scared. And then you eventually, obviously, when you get into training, you grow yourself, and it becomes more appealing, especially as you get into bodybuilding. And they're not so grotesque anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys went through the period of certain wrestlers and they looked absolutely fucking massive, right?
Yeah.
And now as time's passed, and
they look tiny.
Yeah,
it's true. It's like thinking back like Triple H, right? We used to think, fuck, he's massive and he's ripped.
Literally, man.
He's really not that.
Where he looks massive. You're like, swear to God, he was bigger than this.
Yeah.
Look at Batista.
Say again.
Say what?
Look at Batista.
Yeah. Batista's still a big guy though. Like he's 6'5".
Batista in his prime.
Yeah, he was
compared to Batista now. He was literally 4 times the size of what he is now. He's still big, but he was huge. You know what I mean?
Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, he's still huge.
He's got crazy genetics as well. Wish he was a bodybuilder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Khifie, you'd have watched it. Did you ever watch TNA?
Yeah, man. I used to watch TNA. What was that? A Welsh dude's name? Rob Terry or something?
No. What about Scott Steiner? His biceps were like pumped with oil. They were huge.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And have you seen like Hulk Hogan tagging Ronnie Coleman in his videos and shit?
Yeah.
Legend.
Woo! Yeah, buddy.
I tell you one person's physique I did used to love was Ultimate Warrior, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
but you think about it, right? They're like 6'2" plus, majority of them. They're like 300 pounds because of their height to weight ratio, right? And they're like jumping off like 6 foot fucking ropes. It's crazy.
Well, we're talking about this. We got a wrestler on the show.
Oh yeah. That's convenient.
We really get into this, yeah.
Mate,
how did that come around, Khifie?
How on earth do you manage to do both?
Yeah.
Because aren't you? I know you know what you're doing. You've perfected it, but do you not get knocks quite a bit, or?
Yeah, well, it's like funny because near enough would have been the beginning of this year. I actually I pulled from the wrestling for good just because of everything that was happening with the bodybuilding. Yeah. And the way that everything was going, it was kind of just shifted over to the bodybuilding. But I did go through a lot with the wrestling, do you know what I mean? I was always kind of getting niggles here and there. But I was lucky enough to not ever get a really bad injury.
Do you think that they are probably coming though? You know, because obviously you're a little bit younger than me. When I was or anything under the age of 18, I was invincible. Nothing fazed me. Now I am made of glass.
Man, that's how it is.
Well, I know. For me, it's because I don't do anything. because I don't put myself in any of these situations, because I don't go out kicking a football. But with you, obviously, you're doing it regularly. But so now, like moving forward, are you completely out of it, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Do you plan to stay like still functional? Because the most like amazing part of it is that you're a person who's obviously a bodybuilder, a good bodybuilder, pulls ridiculous numbers like a powerlifter, and then it's also functional enough to step in the ring and do crazy shit.
That was one of the biggest things with the wrestling, was the kind of mobility side of things. So we would do like a lot of that kind of stuff. So obviously I had my training for like the bodybuilding side of things, then I had my training for the wrestling. The training for the wrestling was more your kind of mobility side of things and conditioning side of things. So that was basically to make sure that you were able to last like a 25-minute match. If you were going up against somebody that was wanting to run about like a fucking nutter for 25 minutes, you literally had to make sure that within 2 minutes you weren't absolutely blown out your arse. So it was really a case of that kept up that side of things. Now my kind of conditioning side of things is basically just high rep sets. You know what I mean? Like nothing else. I don't do any cardio. I'm not doing any cardio just now on prep. I do go out a lot of walking, like with the dog, but that's really it, kind of thing.
Okay. Wow.
But mobility work, I really should probably do like a bit more of it. But like the way I look at it is, I like to make sure that I'm flexible to like an extent of the exercises that I do, and my biggest aim always now is always to make sure I'm warmed up, because like 2 years ago I ended up with really bad sciatica, and that kind of done me for like 6 months. I was still wrestling, I was still lifting, but the way it kind of hit me, I had like slip discs and disc bulges, and it was like I used to work in like a little corner shop, and literally, no word of a lie, like a child came in and asked for like a penny mixture, and I turned round like too quick and my back just went, and I've never been so raging, because see if it went and I was doing something in the gym, I probably wouldn't have been like, I probably would have been, oh well, that was expected, but there I was fuming. Like
that was the same with me when I was how old was I? I was 18 when I dislocated my ankle, and it was when I was in America and I was moving bags into like an accommodation that I was staying at. There was like a trailer with the bags on. I'd thrown the bags off the trailer, and it was literally like the foot gap between the ground and the trailer. I stepped off and my ankle crunched. And it was just like, like my immediate thought, like at the time, was, oh well, shit, how did that happen? Because like it's such a basic thing that you do every day, but almost become like a glass cannon, right?
Yeah, because usually the most basic stuff that actually just pops you. Like I remember popping my back twerking. I did, man. It was my first time trying to attempt. I was trying to attempt it, and I was like, "Fucking pull my back."
Trying to spice it up in the bedroom.
Yeah, can I ask why you were attempting to twerk, Jack?
I don't have a good reason.
Only fans.
No. You don't have a good lie. That's what
truth is, I was just being a dick, man. I was just being a dick. Just
pretty much sums it up.
You were being a dick, or you were doing it for dick?
Hey, man, I've got to buy my fucking protein somewhere.
Yeah, you're on furlough at the moment. Remember, you can't have additional incomes when you're on furlough, so be careful.
Well, this was when I was a teen. I fitted into the legal category, so it was
early
payday.
There's a niche for that.
Yeah, there's an absolute niche for that.
There's always a niche. Where's this conversation gone?
So I'll take it back. So, Khifie, you put a picture up today that you're 12 weeks out. Is that the BMBF?
BMBF finals, yeah.
It's like an immediate finals, yeah?
Yep. So basically, because of the Worlds last year, I got straight through to the finals anyway, so I wouldn't have needed to do like a qualifier and stuff like that. So the plan was always the finals. So right now it's 12 weeks. There's potential that it might get pushed back if it needs to be postponed by like a couple of weeks or something like that. But nobody really knows anything yet. But right now there's 12 weeks tomorrow, I believe, till it's the very end of September.
My only issue with, obviously I really want shows to go ahead this year. My only issue with natural shows this year is it's a bit of a joke, because if you are 12 weeks out, okay, even if they open gyms right now, as a natural, there's no way you're gonna be able to sort of look anywhere near like presentable at a finals. Like if you're enhanced, you could somewhat grow into a show.
Yeah.
And you can do that. So I think it's realistic for, say, like the PCA, NABA, for example, to do that and say, oh, because gyms are now open, we'll give them 12 weeks, because that's what they're saying. But for a natural, I think that's going to be really tough. It's almost like whoever wins is, well, obviously there are people that have been able to train, but for the rest of them, it's literally going to be who's atrophied less. Rather than who's the most muscular, it's going to be who's lost the least.
Yeah.
It's a bit
it's
body preservation contest.
It's a
who's on the best band.
It is a weird one, but it was always the plan from even the Britain last year, because of obviously what happened at the Britain last year, to go ahead with this year. Like it was never not going to be a thing, and because this is my last year, with the way that my birthday falls, this is my last year as a junior in like the natural circuit. So that's the only thing that's kind of taken me to the finals this year.
You know, ultimately, if that gets you, I know you always want to compete against the best, but at the end of the day, if that gives you a British title and then qualifies you for Worlds again, are you qualified again for Worlds, or?
If the finals go to plan, then it'll be a case of the Worlds, but I'm not sure if the Worlds will go ahead this year.
Yeah. Where is it? It's in New York, right? But then where else do they?
The Worlds this year planned to be in the Caymans.
Oh, okay.
That would have been sick as well.
Yeah.
But it just means that if they don't go ahead this year, then it just means I'm going to have to work and get a wee bit bigger and then go out as an open.
I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, you literally make about fucking 5 years progress every off season.
And honestly, Chris, you shouldn't be afraid of that, because like even me in 2017, I wouldn't have said I was amazing, but I went straight from juniors into a heavyweight class in finals and did all right, you know. I certainly didn't feel like out of place.
Out rustled.
Bear
in mind, I think also, Chris, out of the juniors currently in the UK, you're probably one of the more freakier looking guys as is. So I think you hold like the freak card that a lot of people don't. So I feel like that'll carry you a bit as well.
And I think, to be honest, there are plenty of juniors within the natural federations that could win overalls. Like there's so many. I think some of the best guys are juniors at the moment. So I think a lot of them could step up straight away. So not really.
Talking about you, Jermaine.
I've got a bit of growing time.
How long have you got? How old are you, Jermaine?
I'm 20.
Oh,
fine. I'm 20
tomorrow.
Baby.
Oh, to be 20 again.
Oh, mate, I can't believe you're 20 tomorrow, Joe.
I know. I look 40. I've looked 40 since I'm in the womb, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Not looking 40.
Yeah, man. But this is the thing, right? I've looked 40 forever. So when I'm 40, everyone's going to say, fuck me, you've aged well.
Yeah, it'll work in your favour.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, my
But
birthday
yeah, no,
tomorrow, so...
And then Richardson, how's the mini cut going?
All right.
Head's
Face
not
is
as fat.
Yeah, it's
Oh
pulling.
yeah, like my face looked like I'd been from A to B before the mini cut. Literally, like I had an allergic reaction. The mini cut's fine. Calories are about just below where prep calories ended up last year. But this time round, obviously because I'm not in the depths of prep, it is a lot easier on that.
Oh yeah.
Calories. Like to be fair, hunger's non-existent. Training is progressing quite nicely, which it is my first tie and any bit of deficit on it whilst being assisted. I've got to say it's the weirdest shit ever. It's so weird.
Talk us through it. What's it like? What has changed for you?
Well, I'm not fucking gassed out.
Yeah, you can be on dog shit calories and still train like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Lifts are going up, and my performance is increasing because I'm not as fat. So
Yeah.
my fitness is there, so I could do high reppers. So
Yeah.
it's quite a blessing. Obviously, like I said, I'm not hungry, so I'm
Cool.
having the time of my life on this mini cut. I've dropped.
Are you competing this year, Jack?
Not this year, mate. I'm nowhere near good enough. I don't think as of yet. Next year, hopefully. I've dropped 12 pounds in the last 2.5 weeks. The aim is 20 pounds in total, and then we'll do another push up. I want to try to add 20 pounds in total on my stage weight because that's where the cap is for the classic physique.
Oh geez, yeah, okay.
So
That'll bring you up to
190 pounds. I
yeah.
was 170 last year, so I think to give me the best chance of getting the card is to max out weight limit.
Just be a fucking unit.
You won't stay in that.
Huh?
I don't think you'll stay in that. You might stay in it for 1 year. You won't stay in it after.
He's gonna pull a Kieran Pearson and just outgrow it in 1 year.
What, do 2 on 2?
Yeah.
No. I don't see. This is the thing. This is why I really, really hope I get the pro card sooner rather than later, because I really can't be arsed with just fucking holding my weight.
Holding.
Yeah, I hate.
You
I
won't,
hate
you won't
that.
be able to. You won't
what?
be able to. You've just jumped on. You've just jumped on. You won't be able to hold. You'll have to go back natty if you want to hold.
Yeah. Oh, big boy Jack. Yeah. I hope that you get a good opportunity next year to go and do some
I
shows.
think every man and his dog's going to be competing next year.
Yeah.
Arnold,
just-
boy.
No, find some Mickey Mouse show somewhere.
Yeah, go to Vietnam. There you go.
I'll just do them all.
Do like the Isle of Wight Classic or something.
Oh yeah. Just get just a fucking fake record.
Yeah, the most obscure shows possible.
The Guernsey champion. How about that?
I'd feel shit, man.
Yeah.
I'd feel shit.
So you're thinking 2 bros then, Jack?
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 bros.
Are you willing to travel abroad?
Do you know what? That's what I like about bodybuilding is it allows you to travel to different places and still and you compete at the same time. It's a good experience. So yeah, definitely willing to travel. But I am thinking potentially a PCA show because I've always wanted to do one just to see how it goes and just to see where I would fit in and whatever. And maybe if I'm fucking young enough, I might do the juniors in PCA. I don't know. Nothing's definite.
There's some fucking freaks in the juniors and the PCA. Jesus Christ.
There is. So it's like, it's still going to be very, very, very challenging.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if any of you guys know Dan Bastick, but he's like fucking 250 pounds.
Dan's out of juniors now though.
Yeah, it's his first year out, isn't it?
It would have been, it was his last. It would have been his last year this year.
Yeah, this year, but it's fucked up in it.
He was very good last year.
Yeah.
When he was junior, he was very, very good.
Like I'm quite disappointed. I'm gutted for him that he couldn't have competed this year because I think he'd have looked mad, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
like when he puts the comparisons up to what he is now compared to the shows last year, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's changed.
I'm gutted for most people.
Oh yeah, I'm gutted for everyone. But
it's just like I feel like there's so many people who would have stepped on stage this year who would have just blown wide open.
But it's like Jack said. Obviously, I'm going to compete next year.
Yeah.
And it just means that everyone that's decent that was going to compete this year is going to be
competing
joining
next
everyone
year.
that's decent next year as well. And it's
Honestly, I'm in two minds now about competing next year because the plan was originally to compete next year, but if I'm wanting to go in with the intent to win some shows, does it make sense to compete next year? Just because of the
Depends how good you think you are.
amount of people who are going to be competing.
That's
Obviously,
what it comes down to. Like you can't do shows to win shows because
it's true.
you just don't know.
Yeah.
Like there are lads that go in as first timers and they absolutely smoke it. You've never heard of them before.
Yeah.
You know, so you can only just. I almost don't see prepping for shows as like anything to do with the result. It's just the fact of how I look on.
Yeah, it's just knowing that you've done better and you've improved.
And ultimately, if you've done that, job done. Really.
Yeah,
you know?
it's true.
When I got fourth place at the British finals in 17, like my parents were gutted from there. They were like, "Oh, how do you feel?" I was like, "I feel pretty good. I look really good.
Yeah.
So who cares?" You know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just something cool to put in your Instagram bio. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't do anything. So,
They just sit there and look pretty.
But
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That being said, I feel like some of the shows next year are going to be a nightmare with the amount of competitors. Just in terms of logistically getting everyone on stage.
Do you think some of the shows will maybe like cap the amount of people because of how big the year is going to be?
Because I did a show last year and it had registered 20 people for the junior lineup.
And what, 5 turned up?
It ended up being 13, I think, that turned up.
it usually does happen. I don't know what happens to those people. I don't know, like
they just
got lost.
didn't make it.
The wrong turn, the motorway.
Kicked in.
Yeah.
Brain kicked in. They went to the other end. Yeah.
However, I'll caveat what I said about everyone doing shows next year.
Yeah.
And go back to what I was saying about naturals, without putting a dampener on people. If you are not training well right now as a natural, next year you're probably not going to do anything.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Like realistically, this is your off season right now.
Yeah.
You're going to be starting prep when? February?
Yeah.
So if, you know, you've still got a fair few months now once gyms do open, but you know, you better make sure that you're training pretty well during that time then.
I'm thinking, I am still in two minds about it, and I'll probably end up just checking in with AJ and be like, hey, should I not? That'll probably be what
He'll give you an honest answer. He'll definitely give you an honest answer. And Jack, I can definitely attest for that, because I remember when I was having a few issues in 2018. I was supposed to be prepping then. I pulled out prep, and I had a couple of weeks off. Not a couple of weeks, couple of months off training. Yeah. And even though I had a few months trying to gain back shit, I don't think I was in the same starting position as I was in the 2018 prep. So even those 2 months off, I think had knock-on effect.
What did you do for 2 months? Because
What
once
is
you-
there
once-
outside
once
of the
you're
gym?
once you're in the bodybuilding life, yeah, you sort of you lose of what all the other things you can do in life. So if I stop training, I wouldn't. I'd be like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. At the time, my fucking life went to shit, man.
You
So,
must have been a slob.
oh mate, it was so shit. I just finished prep, and then I stopped training. So I was about 8 weeks out at the time. It wasn't good. By the time I came back, I looked like a teen again. So I had to try and gain back as much as possible over the course of a couple of months, and then that's what I was left with to prep with.
Damn. Wow.
So yeah. So anyone thinking about having, well, I just feel sorry.
Wasn't that for shows last year? That was for last year's season, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You did all right, didn't you?
You looked really good last year, you twat.
You still whoop my ass on stage. Yeah. You are, I will say this, Jack, I've said it before, but you are a fucking freak of nature. You are.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Love you, buddy.
You're sexy.
Good talk. Moving back to Khifie. What is your future aspirations when it comes to bodybuilding now that you're more bodybuilding than ever? Pro card?
Yeah, pro card naturally, definitely. Everybody's got the end goal of the Olympia. I don't care what anybody says. If somebody turns around and tells you that they don't want to step on the Olympia stage, then they're probably talking shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, natural pro card first, definitely.
And then move on to the big boys and jump.
Yeah,
on.
see what happens from there. It all depends on how much progress I can make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've not long turned 22, so it's like I'm still like kind of growing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just from a young age, so it's like just seeing how far I can really take it. But
yeah, that's what is like the class that you'd like to fit into if you were to make it to the Olympia. I know that this
the 110% the open class.
Open. Okay.
If I was going to move to
how tall are you, Khifie?
I'm 5'7", so
okay.
If I was wanting to like go down the assisted route, the only way I would want to take it would be like as far as humanly fucking possible. Like, I wouldn't.
You won't fuck about.
No, that's the only side of bodybuilding that's really interesting to me is like the kind of freak of like side. You know what I mean? So like your people like Dallas McCarver, for instance, he was like a really, really big kind of go-to for me, because whenever I got into bodybuilding, he was like the kind of guy. And then going back, you've obviously got like Dorian and, you know, Ronnie, Jay, there's lots of them. But yeah, definitely. That's why, like, especially like being like natural now, my goal is always to be as big as possible. Like, I don't care about being like fucking perfect. Do you know what I mean? And having like everything to be like just like a beautiful physique kind of thing. I want to be as big as possible. I want people to, you know what I mean, like look at my physique and be like, you know.
You want to go on stage and have people go, "What the fuck?"
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dorian Yates mentality.
It's always been like the kind of case, and that's really why, like, I think it comes back to training as well. It's why like my training's always kind of my thing. It's always my time. It's like I know how I'm going to train. I'm never going to train any differently, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's why, like, there's another thing as well. Like, obviously today was quite a big step to even upload the shots that I uploaded earlier, because I'm not used to uploading anything like that. I kind of, once like prep's over, I like to kind of just shy away. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll post all my training stuff. I'll post, you know what I mean, probably like lots of pictures in like clothes, but to upload like a physique shot is just like, I don't know. It's
I'm kind of in the same boat where, for me, I have to feel as well like there's actually like there's a reason for me to post my physique.
Yeah.
It has to be like there has to be some sort of purpose to it. Like in prep, it's just like it's kind of easy, I guess, in a way, if you want to post your physique, because you're improving literally every single week visibly.
Yeah.
Everyone. Whereas in the off season, like, you know, obviously the focus kind of shifts a bit. And for me in the off season, it took me probably until like March this year to go, fuck, I've made actually a decent amount of work. And that's when I ended up posting a physique shot.
Yeah.
I felt good about.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is a sign that, you know, I'm on
What
the
I mean,
right.
man, you've been like hiding under a rock for the last 4 months, 5 months.
Because the world's
I
gone
haven't
to
seen
shit.
nothing.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to come out of my turtle shell. That's why. Apart from for this.
Yeah.
and for training videos now and again.
Yeah. It's like now's like the only time I've ever really put pictures up. It's because I'm doing this fucking crash diet thing.
Yeah.
But I've looked at comparison pictures from now and like 5 weeks ago. There's a massive difference.
It is a massive difference. What?
Not even those pictures. Like I've improved the fuckload. I didn't put the original pictures up.
Yeah, I remember when you sent me the first shots over. How much have you lost now?
£15.
£15 solid. Because it looks as well like, kind of because you were obviously detrained and it was coming off of the back of being in hospital. It looks like you have actually got a bit of just a recomposition effect.
My body is well. No?
It might be more than £15 because you might have chucked on some phones.
Exactly.
So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, 100%. So before I went into hospital, I was 203, I think.
Yeah.
When I come out, I lost a shitload of weight. I went down to like 189 and then went back up again just because I wasn't really tracking what I was eating or anything. Because pretty much the doctor just said, eat to your appetite. So I was just eating like a load of shit, really.
That would be fucking dangerous if I did that.
100%. I did that for 3 weeks. And I ended up putting £20 back on. So
excellent. Yeah.
So I was pretty much back where I started, but this time there was no training, and that £20 was shit food built. Whereas now I'm like down to 185 in the morning, and it's probably the best I've looked.
Yeah, it's the best composition you've had while I've known you, pretty much. It's the best I've seen, especially from rear shots.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see, because I'm in an RM whether to compete as a first timer next year, as a junior or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because pretty much just because I want to do a prep with my mates, to be fair.
Yeah.
But we'll see, because I don't want to compete until I know I can have a good impact. Like no chance. It's just the way my head works. I'm not going to go up there and just fucking just be there, like, oh, I'm in shape, let's compete. Like, I'm going there with the intention of doing something. So
yeah,
we'll see.
It's like I feel like everyone, and like I feel like a lot of people can deny this as a fact, but there's a level of pride to this, right? At the end of the day, like you want to show something that you're proud of. So yeah.
It's that I'm pretty detached from my physique. I'm happy if I'm a fat fuck, if I've lost muscle. I don't really give a fuck. I just enjoy training, and the physique is a result of the training. And what I'm going to bring to stage is going to be a result of me enjoying myself for like 6 to 12 months. And whatever I've got at the end of it, that's what I'll show up on stage with. Yeah. So, pretty much, to be fair.
Just going to come on stage.
Nothing really else to it.
Like, fucking Mr. Potato Head. That's my story. You're like, this is the happy me right now.
Yeah.
Smugglers. Yeah, no, it's gonna be.
Any of you guys feel like you're quite detached from your physique, or you're very attached to it?
Do you know what? and I am quite detached. Like I could be just as, I don't know, I could flaunt my physique fat off season just as much as prep. Like I'm not arsed. I'm not one of those people who are attached to abs or anything like that. I don't mind getting fat because at the end of the day, you know, I'm a bodybuilder and I can take it all off whenever I want. And I think a lot of people need that mentality when they're pushing up the weight to, you know, when things start to look sloppy and unaesthetic, is that they need to remember they can take it all off.
Yeah.
Take it all off.
Yeah. I remember last year, this was like just after prep for me, and I was like slowly moving weight up. And I was talking to Liam, a lot of you know him as The Ball on Instagram, and I was talking to him, and I was like, I'm just like, you know, managing myself so I don't just like, you know, put on too quick or whatever. And he was like, he said to me, he's like, I'm watching you train, it feels like you're restricting yourself a bit. At the end of the day, it's bodybuilding, not body shrinking. Fucking start eating some food. And I was like, oh, fuck, yeah. So, yeah, I think that people, especially a lot of, like, younger guys, like 16, 17, they are afraid to just fucking eat and start pushing up. And like, at the end of the day, that'll take you so far, actually having that, like, a bit of fluff on you so you can actually...
Yeah. We had a question on pushing up as well, especially as like the first push-up. Do any of you guys remember your first push-up? When you first got into it, like what you started out, what you finished
from birth.
I pushed up, like I started training at 16. I pushed up all the way until I was 18, and I went, oh, what was I now? I was light as fuck. I pushed all the way up to 218 pounds. Didn't give a fuck.
Big boy.
I ended up 170 on stage eventually. 175 on my first show, like, and you know what? It helped me build a good amount of muscle, just not giving it. Like, all I cared about, which I'm so glad I had this fucking mentality, is that my lifts were progressing and that was getting strong as fuck, really. And then I wanted to try my first ever experience of a diet was a contest prep.
Damn.
So
I think that's the way it should be, really.
Yeah, I agree.
That was the same as me.
It was like, what reason have you got to diet before a show? Like, when you're competing from a young age, I mean, like, you know, I think I did one diet for a holiday, and that was the year before I competed, and that was it. So for the rest of my life, I was basically just eating to grow, no intention of dieting at all.
Yeah, interesting. So for me, it was the other way around first. So I dieted first, and when I was like 15, 16, and it was just because I was just unhealthy. That was the whole purpose. And then it very quickly turned into, okay, this is almost like, I almost developed like a contest prep mentality at 16, even though I wasn't competing. I was just like, okay, I'm like, abs by Christmas, cool. I'm this lean now. I would like to bring my legs up and stuff like that as much as possible. This is in like the first 6 months of training for me. So, and actually looking back in retrospect, that was probably the worst thing I could have done. I should have just stayed fat, like from a bodybuilding perspective, stayed fat and just like actually use that like extra heft to actually grow and lift some heavier weight, like versus cutting down to like 160, 170 pounds or what I ended up being, like in that ballpark, and having to get that strength base back and slowly like pushing up from there.
I think I'm quite glad that my growth years were when I was playing rugby, so I didn't really care about being lean, because I put my most tissue on from the age of like 16 to 18 probably. Sometimes I wonder how much I've actually put on since I was 18. Like now and again I do put pictures up of me playing and stuff when I was 18, and my quads are probably bigger then than they are now. But I think that was purely because I had no intentions of dieting. I just ate enough, like a lot of food and like good. Because if you eat, if all of your diet is quote unquote good food, so like chicken and rice, oats,
broccoli, asparagus,
like just you're gonna struggle to get fat.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much of that you can eat.
Yeah.
It's when you start adding little bits here and there, like little bits of shit, that it starts to add up, and then that's when you're going to get fat. So I think younger lifters, they just eat a load. Like, there are people that have ridiculous metabolisms and they can eat like too much.
Yeah.
But, and those people probably could just burn it off anyway. But as long as you're eating like good food, you could probably get away with like literally, as you said, eating to hunger and eating a lot and just training well. Khifie, I know you're a big proponent of eat big or stay small.
Yes.
I think you did a very good job of sort of pushing that home last year. I think a lot of people sort of clocked onto that. So I know obviously you're 12 weeks out now, are you still nailing down multiple Weetabix in the morning? And
my food is still high, just different choices kind of thing. There's lots of stuff that, like, once I kind of transition from an off season to a prep, my food will change, but it's still like a decent amount of food kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It'll just be a case of it'll change up. I'll not be having things like packets and packets of square bars and stuff like that a day. Do you know what I mean? But it's just one of the things. I'm definitely a kind of believer that, especially at this age, there's no point in fucking about. Do you know what I mean? Like, trying to stay in shape throughout an off season when
you're wasting your growth years. Realistically, you know.
Yeah. It
goes back to that phrase, doesn't it? Like, pick one, put weight on, or just fucking lose weight. Especially as a youngster, because you just it's like I was the same for a little bit. I'd like, oh, let's get massive. Oh, I'm too fat. Let's diet down. And you just get nowhere.
Yeah,
just get in the loop.
There's been a lot of kids that have come up to me and they tell me what they're doing. And they're like, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and gain for a couple of months and I'll diet down and see where I'm at. I'm like, I'll tell you exactly where you're at. Fucking nowhere.
The same place you were last year. And then
exactly.
After you did the exact same thing the first time.
Richardson, quote, "You're fucking nowhere."
Literally, man. I every single young person I say, just gain,
and grow.
Unless you're doing a fucking photo shoot or you're a fucking model, it doesn't fucking matter. You know that you've got a bit of fluff on. You know,
even then, there's some modelling that you can do.
Especially now.
Yeah, I mean, you could be a plus size model. Yeah, if that's your thing.
Yeah. 2020.
You probably get more followers by putting up, say, I don't always look good. See.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't want to have shots at people, right? Because she's a good advert for women, etc. I don't even know what her Instagram name is. I think she's got some sort of foreign name. Her whole Instagram page is about like cellulite and different angles and stuff. Her whole page. Do you know the one?
Probably. There's a lot of them like that. They're all just beating the dead horse with the stick.
No, but she has like hundreds of thousands of followers.
Do you know what? Once I saw that,
no clue. I try and avoid them.
Like a million of those posts came.
So it's all the time. But like, do you, as a 20-plus-year-old girl or woman, you honestly need to be told that most girls have cellulite? Like, do you need to be told that?
This goes out to our 13% female viewers out there. We're asking you.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it, because we won't have the backlash. Yeah. I actually typed up a story slating it the other day. Absolutely slating it, and I was like, "You're gonna get so much shit for this. Don't do it." So for me to do that, that's big. because I love controversy. But I thought, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I think in the process we've lost Khifie as well.
Yeah. Where's Khifie gone?
He's gone for a walk in the Highlands, I think.
No, his dog was on the wheel outside for the internet, and he's taken.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Is that the way they do things up in Scotland?
He's on dial-up still, yeah.
Yeah. I thought at first you were going to say he's on dialysis. I was like, I hope not.
Dialysis. He's just got to get the hamster wheel going again.
No, there's probably a time limit. He could be at the gym. There's probably someone looking at him like,
yeah, maybe. Come on, you bastard! Get the fuck out.
You've had your hour time slot. Come on.
Yeah. That's one thing I did want to ask. I wanted to ask Khifie as well, but I'll ask you, Jack Thorburn. Yeah. Would you consider? I think you previously have anyway. But as a natural, would you compete outside of natty feds anymore, or not? Would you not bother if you're already in shape?
Interesting. Yeah.
I tell you what. Last year, tactically, if I picked, obviously, I'm talking about if I looked the way I do now, back then.
Yeah.
If I tactically picked some two bro shows, I'd have won them, like the classes, because some of them are awful. The standard is like not when it comes to finals, because they are
no.
They're quality then.
But the general
some qualifiers are a joke. There'll be like two people in a class, and they both look awful. And it's just like,
if I was,
do you know what?
I bet you thought that, Jack, at the time, because you were in shape, obviously, weren't you? I bet you were like, shit, I wish I'd done that. I'd have smoked.
Do you know what? When I was a teen, I actually did an untested show, and
which one?
It was an Open British, right? It was the NAC Open British, right? Okay. And I won it on such a fluke because it was so fucking bad. You need to bear in mind, I was new to bodybuilding at this stage. Keep that in the head. Yeah. Right. What's the time of the story? The night before, obviously, to dry out, I got fucking leathered. I was throwing up everywhere, and
that'll dry you out.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah,
I carved up on all the fucking yeast and fermented sugar, and then just throw out the excess water. I bet it was the best you've ever.
I was knocking back gin. I was knocking back wine.
He was just looking for a good night out. That's what he wanted, really.
Yeah, I was 18, man. I was 19. Anyway, on the day, I looked shit. So I ate. In the morning, I looked shit, obviously, after throwing up all night. So I was eating custard donuts and everything, and everything, just smashing in loads of
good for you,
fucking loads of fucking shit food. And for some, it was an absolute fluke. I tightened up just for the little gap of being on stage, right?
You peaked perfectly.
And then you went to shit.
I peaked perfectly, right? Whilst being on stage. And after that, it just went, I was watery as fuck. And I swear to God, the photo of me collecting my trophy later on in the day was a completely different physique. It was like the guy...
The guy probably said, no, we want the winner. Where is he? not his dad.
I come out and I'm soft as fuck. I look like there was so much water retention. My face went up like that. I come out and I was a different person. And obviously the person that I beat, looking at me, you motherfucker.
That's funny.
The photo of me collecting the trophy was not the same when I was fucking.
Can you find that picture for us, Jack? Can you find that?
I really want. It was the most embarrassing shit of my life.
Come on, that's amazing. That's such a good story.
I've never looked. Honestly, it was actually a very good look that I brought to stage for that year, and also the worst look I brought to stage at the same time.
You feel like you're going to be using custard donuts in the next peak?
Yeah. They were out for the future preps. Too risky, man. Too risky.
Too risky.
Out of
Pretty
six,
specific brand.
I ate six donuts.
Oof.
Oh, if you'd have had 5, you'd have been fine. It was
Yeah,
just the
that's
6.
definitely what it was.
The
Yeah.
6 was overboard. But no, I've done 2 untested shows. My first one was the PCA Welsh, and I did the classic class because I have such a classic physique, obviously.
When was this?
2016.
Okay.
It was the first time. It was one of the first years of PCA actually.
Okay.
I did, the classic class, and I got beaten by a disabled bodybuilder because he was a local, like, everyone knew him. He competed every year. Everyone loved him, and I absolutely smoked him. And because he was the regular that did everyone's shows, they put him ahead of me. I was fuming. That's the only show that I've been annoyed about the decision. The only show.
He wasn't actually disabled as he left the stage, but they found him backstage with a wrench next to him and Jack's blood everywhere. Like, what the fuck? Now you're disabled, you cuck. Yeah.
But I was the only one on stage with dugout glutes, and I was the only natty there, so I'll keep that.
You're the only one there with legs, weren't you? Like genuine legs.
I did keto for that show though, so I looked like white Mo Farah. I was shredded, but like
Joe
a string
Farah,
bean.
You were the definition of natty for that show.
Yeah, like I looked the natty, you know what I mean? But and then 2 weeks later, I had some carbs and then decided to jump into the NABA Welsh. Did the juniors there. I was pretty scared actually because I looked at all like the history of everyone that does NABA, and NABA's a pretty good federation. And I was very fortunate that the 2 other boys in the junior category were both natties too. and
Nice.
Step further, they were identical twins. So I don't know how
you had one competitor.
How the judges
I've never
placed
heard of
them,
that.
I don't know. It was quite awkward.
Crazy.
Did they have identical physiques?
They were pretty similar.
No
Not
way.
like
Same
not
posing
like
trunks.
spot on, but they were very similar. So how the judges, like, I don't know, but I won that, so I was happy. I can say
I think that was the year. Was that the year Cuba won the
junior champion?
juniors?
Well done, Jack.
I think that was the year Cuba won the juniors in the NABA overall as well.
Yeah.
2016.
I think so.
In what, the juniors?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Because I qualified for finals, but because I was 12, there was a mix-up, and because I was going to be too old for the finals, I couldn't do it. So I'm quite glad I didn't do it now. If he was doing it, but
oh no,
that'd have been clout. Yeah.
I don't know. Like sometimes I do think to myself, or maybe I will jump in to a non-tested, but then look, Jermaine, you had a horrible squeeze.
Yeah, you had that sitcom for about 5 minutes. It was like the intro of Friends.
Like, oh no, this is it.
But you've got to weigh up, like, is it worth you peaking for another show that you don't really care about? Because if you really are trying to maximize what you do in a show, it's not the best. If it's quite a way out, you could potentially do it, but if it's within a few weeks of each other, I don't think it's really worth it. Do you think
that those sort of shows should only be done after you've done the goal shows, if that makes sense?
Mark Oak said he used to use those shows as warm-ups.
I can see how that does happen. Like, every show I do in a year, I look better in the following one because I'm harder. I've learned from peaking for that show. Because every year, your peaks will be different. So, you can use I certainly think you can use them as sort of warm-ups, but if you want to do well in that show, you've got to like go pretty hard at like being, lean enough. Are you gonna?
Yeah.
I know people say, "Oh, peaking doesn't count," but it does. Like you can do things to make yourself look better, and like it does all take. And even just the fact that you've got to, because I know some people don't do it, but if you're depleting for the show, that depletion week throws you off quite a bit as well. So with the ultimate goal is another show, you have got to be careful what you do, really. I think a lot of people that say, like Mark Oakes, for example, he probably doesn't change an awful lot when he goes into shows. He probably just coasts in. And if you are someone that just coasts in, then it is just another day, really. So
yeah, and he didn't really care about the results either. Like that's why they were warm-up shows, because he didn't give a fuck about them really too much from what he said.
I think people will grill me for this as well. I would potentially do one just for the gram, just to be like, "Oh, I've done a two bros,"
Yeah.
Just something to amateur Olympian side in the background.
I love competing as well. Like I absolutely love it. Just the process of it. So just doing another show would appeal to me as well.
Yeah.
And just the fact that it's a different federation, you've got a lot more eyes on you there. That would really excite me, to be honest. And like obviously, I'm under no illusion that size-wise I'd get smoked.
Yeah.
But are you telling me if I didn't get up on stage and I was shredded and I blew everyone else away conditioning-wise, someone might not be like, that's pretty cool. Like that would tickle my ego a little bit if that was the case,
Just to turn up with all these big boys and just be the most peeled one there.
Yeah.
But just not a bit less Mo Farah-ish. Last time.
Yeah.
But
just pull a jack.
I think Chris has passed away or something.
Yeah, I asked him if he's alive, and I've had no.
So I presume he's not coming back. Do you want to get into some questions?
Yeah,
because otherwise it'd be a long one.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, you go first, Jermaine. You said you got a good few.
Yeah.
Mine are all like quick, easy ones.
Let me pull up my story.
Cool. Right, while we wait, go on. Carry
on. Why should I go to failure each set when the research says not to?
Fuck the research, you pussy.
Research, man.
Yeah.
Let's try and give him.
Right, look. Let me just put it simply. Right, unless you have flex wheeler genetics, go to failure or stay the same. Next question, please.
I mean, you can progress, right?
Yeah, of course. You can progress away from failure, but unless you've done that for a consistent time and seen consistent progress in your physique, then why?
To give it some sort of, to dull it down, like realistically, your body responds to a stimulus, which is basically telling it, "Oh, I've never done this before. I need to make sure I can do it again next time when I'm called upon."
Yeah, I'm strong enough to move that weight next time.
That is the response that stimulates you to grow. If you're in the gym and you're doing something that's not challenging yourself, your body is then saying, "Well, I don't need to be bigger or stronger.
I don't need to adapt
so why do I need to?"
Yeah, that's where the whole only start counting in your last 5 reps thing comes from. Like how really the latter part of the set is where we actually give the stimulus.
Yeah. You need to give yourself a reason to adapt, and failure is a very good reason to adapt.
And your body will get more stubborn over time. You're not going to get the same rate of growth every single year.
Yep.
And also, who realistically likes training and not going to failure? Like
who likes training half-assed?
I couldn't do that.
I've always gone my first session in the gym was to failure because I didn't think, oh, well, I'm going to stop if I've got more left in the tank. Just never crossed my mind.
Just like when you're in the bedroom, do you go?
Exactly. You don't blue ball yourself, do you? No.
Whoa. I don't fancy the best bit.
No, like that. Yeah.
Good talk, Jack. Good talk.
But like I couldn't do a set and know that I could have had more reps. I want to be able to give everything to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything to it. Like, and also, you know, there has been times where I'm doing a set and, you know, I'm thinking, oh, I've got one more here. I'm going to push for this one more. I'll do that one more. I'm like, oh, no, I can probably do another one. I've probably banged out another 3 more.
Yep.
So if I was going to go 2 reps in reserve, I probably short of 5 reps without knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, bringing it back around to the whole topic of research, there's context to a lot of those studies, and you can't look at one study. There's as many studies out there supporting going to failure, sort of movements, as there is not supporting it. And then look at the context of those studies. Were they done on beginners? Were they done on
exactly?
None of them will be experienced trained lifters. I guarantee you.
Yeah,
no one.
Like they're going to be on someone who looks like, you know, my nan or something. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just.
Yeah. It doesn't. You can't look at a study with Zimmer frames and relate it to what we're doing. Basically.
No.
Yeah.
Next question. One exercise per body part. What is it and why?
Oh, who's starting?
What, one exercise per body part? Like,
Yeah, so,
my favorite exercise per body part.
Yeah.
Presume that favorite or most productive.
Yeah. So if you could only do one.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. It would be a squat for legs. Probably a hack squat if I was going to be picking a particular squat. For back, I'm quite liking bent over row at the moment. But you know, I also like to do my RDLs in the back there. So that's tricky.
You can put that as a leg glute movement. It's a different body part.
Okay, yeah, my glute movement is an RDL.
There's always ways around this system. You know.
My forearm movement is a wrist flexor.
Yes.
So my neck.
I prefer the good old cheeky wank, to be fair, but you know.
So yeah, I like chest. I like incline dumbbells, and that's open to me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, for arms, curls for arms.
No push downs.
You what? I like
no push.
triceps.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be the one for me. That'll be my selection.
What about you, Jack?
Hack squat for quads. Probably just like a lion leg kill for hamstrings. Back, probably a stiff leg deadlift or a bent over row. Probably stiff leg. Chest. Maybe, either a dumbbell press or a barbell press incline. Shoulders. I quite like a dumbbell lateral. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, cables," but or like
I like dumbbells.
Or like an incline. The incline laterals, cable laterals, they're quite nice. And then arms. Who really cares? But incline, dumbbell curl, and like a single arm press down, probably something like that.
Yeah.
Jermaine?
I think, okay, so I agree with Mr. Thorburn on some form of incline press for chest. Mine would have to be dumbbell, just because I'm prone with barbell. And also, I think for shoulders, just like a dumbbell raise, side raise, that'd do me for that. And then
I like pressing, man. For shoulders, it would be another press.
Thing is, though, when we talk about, like, when we said incline press for chest, to an extent, depending on the incline, that's gonna become, you know, there's loopholes. There's always a loophole.
Yeah, if I do like a high incline barbell, I get loads of chest and loads of front out. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same sort of boat.
For chest, I'll press like this, and for shoulders, I'll press like this.
Jack, are you going to get insanely capped lateral heads of your deltoid by doing a shoulder press?
I mean, it's for that. I'm saying
No, you're not, Jack. No, you're not. I'll answer that for you. No.
It's enjoyable though. Like,
yeah, I know. I've watched you do that.
It's more like this.
Your face is a class. Like,
oh no, the more off season I get, the worse it is. Oh, honestly,
you're not pulling that face, are you really trading though? Honestly, we all have.
I'll pull that face warming up.
Yeah. My favourite one is you doing cable presses. That fucking kills me. Watch you do cable presses because your face is always surprised. You're pressing like, oh, like that. That'll be your face throughout the set because you're trying to stabilise at the same time.
Brilliant. It's comedy gold.
And then, okay, legs. So, can I go through quad, hamstring, glute?
No. We're short on time.
Don't forget the gastrocnemius and the soleus as well.
Yeah, of course.
I guess not. I guess you guys aren't training calves, by the way. So.
I don't train calves.
I do, but they're shit. Then an Atlantis hack squat, specifically Atlantis.
Okay.
Nah, they're too easy.
Well, if you pack on enough load on it, it doesn't matter, does it? If it's easy or not.
Cybex, all day.
I go Cybex.
Cybex, I think it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I think you will run into issues if you use a Cybex hack year-round, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it is savage on your knees.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so good, because you get so much knee flexion out of it. That's why it blows your quads up and it's so hard. The Atlantis one is really nice. I'll give you that. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But it's almost too easy because of how horizontal you are.
I mean, the pegs on it are long enough that you can just pack on like a leg press amount of weight.
First time I ever went on it, I stacked it.
Yeah.
So if I was to look to progress it, where am I going to go? That's the only issue.
Stick your gym partner on it. It's probably
sitting on it.
Thing. Yeah. And then RDL, of course. Gotta love an RDL.
Okay.
Like a row or something, to be honest.
Yeah. I'd do underhand barbell row for back, probably cambered barbell squat for legs, cable curl for bicep, side raise dumbbell for shoulder, calf raise, obviously seated for calves, and flat dumbbell press for chest. I like flat dumbbell press. I get good stability in my shoulder blades.
Flat work.
Yeah, I don't do any flat now.
I just feel it more in my upper chest. So, because I've got a shoulder problem as well. So if I'm too inclined, if I'm on a 45-degree incline, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm on a higher incline, it's like I can't really shoulder press for shit because my shoulder's just battered from playing American football.
Little story for you. When I was younger, I used to be scared of decline. I wouldn't go anywhere near it because I thought he was going to give me bitch tits. So all I did was incline because I was like, I don't want bitch tits. I don't want it. So anything a slight decline, I was like, no, can't do it.
That's the reason I only did decline.
What? Because you wanted
them?
No, because I had bitch tits and I thought by training them I'd get rid of them.
But reduce the fat, yes.
Yeah, that was it. I had
move the gland up here.
Well, I did a bunch of decline, so I got very strong decline pressing.
It seemed to work, you know.
Yeah, eventually I did switch to incline, and now I just do incline exclusively. I think I just put myself in that range of motion when I was younger.
Here's a quick one. You go to Mackey's, what you getting?
Well, I ain't going.
Out there. It's good food, man.
But it's been so long. I couldn't really tell. I used to love a sweet chili chicken legend. They used to be banging.
Yeah, actually, I'd go with that then. Chicken legend.
They are nice. So sweet chili chicken legend, and then, or one of the McFlurries. I don't know what. Obviously chips and then a McFlurry. I don't know which one I'd have. Cream egg McFlurry, something like that.
Whatever's on at the time.
Whatever's on.
Meringue flurry.
Fuck off! Fuck off!
Meringue.
There's nothing wrong with meringue.
I see. My go-to was 40 nugs.
40 nugs.
A quick 1600 calories. I've actually been into McDonald's and asked the question, "What is your highest calorie meal that you offered?"
And what was it?
It was a Big Tasty.
Oh,
Big Tasty.
I don't know what that is.
It's their premium Big Mac, basically.
Right. Okay. Sure.
So when they told you that, you immediately ordered 3.
Wow.
Alongside his 6 custard donuts.
Yeah. And it's 40 nugs.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. Large fries and 10 mayo chickens. There you go.
Yeah, standard meal.
It only cost me like £12. There you go.
What was £12?
God, that is the definition.
Go on,
of
Jermaine.
shitty fast food.
Oh, I know.
So, should we do how many questions have you got? Do you want to? Shall we do
I've got 2 left.
Okay, I was wondering whether or not we were going to go on to the prison meal one or not.
We'll do that at the end.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So first, go on then.
One question.
You got any more questions or not?
Yeah. I've got another one. One of the questions
Rapid fire
was when starting back, what is going to be the sort of easing in of training, assuming you haven't been training for a lot of people?
Well, that's half of us out.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. I was speaking to someone the other day about it, and my 2 cents is that it might make sense to obviously drop off volume and only go in, aim to do top set, because obviously you don't want to destroy your CNS in the first week back. But at the same time, it might make sense to just do work in some higher rep ranges to begin with. So instead of doing like 5 reps as a top set, look at doing more like 8, 12.
I do 8 to 12. Yeah.
I'll just hold back a little bit. That's probably the only time I use reps in reserve.
Yeah.
This is easy myself into something.
Because also you're going to be I think you're going to be pretty prone to injury as well.
Yeah.
If you haven't been doing any training really, I think. So yeah, I agree with Jack. There is scope to actually leave a few reps, if anything. But ultimately, I can't really comment.
Yeah, I think a lot of it will come down to, I know for me, it'll come down to the exercises and how my body deals with having novel stimulus put back in.
Cool.
So having access to a leg press that I can load up with however much. And stuff like that. That'll be the only thing that really changes for me.
Yeah.
I'll just have more actual exercise selection. That's like good.
Yeah. Well, I've changed my split anyway, so I'm doing upper lower for a bit. So I don't know. I'll let you know in like a month.
The only difference starting back that I'll have compared to before lockdown will be I'll have an arm day. That'll be the only change, really.
Not you as well.
You're on that George Osborne hype train.
It's not just George though. There's a
No, I know.
who've been doing that, and I've got.
I just feel like with the system that a lot of people are doing, like push-pull legs and stuff. Yeah, of course, you know your arms do get neglected in a way, but then again, you should probably have an arm day in there anyway. I would. My arms are trash.
It depends how your arms are. To be fair, like
your arms are impressive, Jack. So.
I'm okay with my arms, so I don't need to do many sets for my arms. Maybe someone
However, Jack, I will say, I think the reason why your arms are the way they are because previously your back execution
was poor.
it was all arm.
Yeah.
Your arms
mate.
look class because all of your back stuff was arms. So I think that's where you've got a lot of it from.
My back day was arm day, basically. I had no back day for the first few years of my lifting career.
But it's benefited your arms a lot, though.
Yeah.
So
maybe I'm doing it all wrong. Maybe I should just make it arm day with a couple of exercises.
On the leg press. Yeah, I agree.
I could take you through a whole arm day only doing back exercises.
I'd like that. I'd like that a lot.
Yeah, as a personal trainer.
You even got some isometric work in the form of a
there is some truth in that, though, in regards, like, if you got really strong at, like, pull-ups, for example. I mean chins now. If you got strong at chins, which is considered a back exercise, really. If you got strong at that, I guarantee you'll have big arms.
Yeah.
It's quite similar with a dip as well. If you got pretty strong and you execute the dip to bias your triceps, you're probably going to be pretty strong. If you have a narrow grip, if you're strong at a narrow grip barbell press, you're probably going to have decent triceps as well. I put a post up on my Instagram on a story. People saying like, "Oh, I was wrong about an arm day. I put one in and my arms grew." It's like, well, no shit. Yeah. And no one has said that an arm day wouldn't grow your arms.
Yeah.
They've said that an arm day could be better spent improving your whole physique.
I remember seeing that story. You said, like, if you were to have a carve day, you'll have massive calves, but you could better use that time.
It's true. It's true. If people had a calf day, everyone would be walking around with massive calves. But they're not, because they do them at the tail end of legs.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same with arms. So
I'm going to start doing calves when I start back as well at the start of a leg session.
I actually prefer like stretching out the calf at the start of the session. So just doing the stretch portion of the calf exercise. Like my calves are pretty good before the leg session, mainly for like some ankle mobility as well. So they're pretty free if they're pretty tight. And then going and doing like actually training the calf at the end of the session. And I like that. So
okay,
give that a go, Jermaine.
That's interesting. I'll give that a go. That's a shout.
So
it's
right.
Just the point you raised, Mr. Thorburn. I'll have a think about that.
However, I am very tempted to have one.
A calf day or an arm day?
However, an arm day. Fuck a calf.
I've done an arm and calf day, to be fair, in the past.
Yeah.
Limb day.
Forearms,
like,
fingertips.
Obviously, I just need to grow everywhere. But in my opinion, one of the biggest lagging parts of my physique is my arms in comparison to.
You see, there's the argument of like, you want everywhere to be big, not just focus on different areas. But then there's.
I disagree with that.
There's also an argument of, balanced physique as well. Would that not be superior to just be a neat head?
I think a lot of the people who are preaching the fact that you should get bigger everywhere are not very proportionate, and they don't look appealing, at least in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I like guys like Marcus Rule and fucking people like that, because in comparison to some people that are preaching, just get big everywhere, they are aesthetic.
Yeah. But like, and like being perfectly symmetrical in the physique, that is being shown so many times to just make you look so much bigger anyway.
Yeah.
Like a young Flex Wheeler, obviously he's got the ridiculous muscle bellies, but he was so symmetrical.
Yeah, just
Frank Zane as well. Like Bob Paris, people like that. Like, that's why they were so good and could stand their ground against people. So,
yeah.
Right. The final question from me before we get into the last question is your favorite superhero movie?
It's a good question.
Easy one for me.
Go on.
I'd say the Batman trilogies.
It's not one film.
The Christian Bale ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, if we're gonna say one of them,
It's gonna be Heath Ledger.
I'd say Batman Begins, man. I like that film.
are we saying Heath Ledger or Bane?
Yeah, Tom Hardy's good as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Toss up between those two.
I think
Hardy
Batman
or Heath Ledger.
is the worst one out of the three. Have you got
Yeah.
Which one?
Heath Ledger, Joker, Batman.
Oh, okay. I think he carries the film though, because I don't think the plot's very good.
Because I went to watch, I can't remember which one. I went to watch one in the cinema, and I needed to go to the toilet the whole time. But it was so good, I held it in because it was so good. And I kid you not, no one will believe this because it's outrageous, but I peed for over a minute after watching it.
I've done that before, yeah.
Honestly, I was dying.
I did that with Star Wars.
It's different shades as well, so it's bright orange when you start, and by the time you finish, it's crystal
It was
clear.
a minute long.
You know what? I feel like I'm going to have a minute-long piss after this podcast.
But you're enjoying it so much, it's so good.
You'll have to screenshot, Jack, time it and screenshot it.
I will. I'll put it on my story.
Excellent. Yeah.
I'll record the
First
stream.
world record.
I'll live stream it, man.
My
We've
favorite,
already.
What's my favorite superhero movie? Probably
VeggieTales.
VeggieTales. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the favorite religious superhero movie about vegetables. No, I think anti-hero, possibly Deadpool, but I feel like to an extent it's been overhyped that much that it's not as good anymore for me. But like the first Deadpool movie at the time, I thought was immense. Possibly that movie, or the original Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Original is
original Spider-Man movies were really good.
Class.
Yeah, like see, I'm inclined to say those movies because the nostalgia, but I really, really like the fucking Infinity Saga.
Yeah, it's good.
With Marvel.
Can you say Infinity Saga again for us?
Why?
Say it. Just say it.
Infinity Saga?
It's just the way you say Sega. I think Sega. You say Sega like the game company. Okay, prison final meals.
I'm sure we've done this with these guys before.
I know, but I wanna see if it's changed. You guys remember?
It's changed in the past 2 weeks.
I
We
don't
had
know.
you 2 weeks ago. It was like 4 months ago, Jack.
Mine's changed from meringue. I could say that.
Mine's now meringue.
I changed to cheesecake. Thank you. Oh, I'll change it back to meringue if Jack says meringue.
Yeah, so
You both could go have a meringue by yourselves.
I also like a 10-cal jelly.
Ah, yeah. That's prep gold.
My favorite.
Gold dust. Yeah.
Just anything with a high. Probably.
Which one? Which
Raspberry.
Which jelly do you like? Which little pot, Jack? Which flavour? The lime. I quite like the lime key pie one.
Yeah, that is. I like the raspberry one. To be fair.
Yes, raspberry. Yes.
But like,
what is it with you, Jermaine? You just like weird citrus.
I don't actually.
Lemon meringue, lime jelly. You know.
I like citrus, man.
I don't actually eat them. To be fair. I don't know what my meal would be. Yeah, see, I
had them in prep.
I hate them. Sorry, Jermaine. The second I see one, I'm like, you're weak. Like, just get on with your diet.
Yeah.
I had them in prep.
I want a little jelly. Shut up.
See,
I gave up on it. I gave up on
Do you see Ronnie Coleman eating jelly? Like,
I've got to.
No, but he drank half a bowl of barbecue sauce a day on his chicken. So,
and
then he went and squatted 800 pounds. You know?
Maybe we should all be drinking barbecue sauce, by the way.
Just have the full calorie jelly instead.
Yeah. Just get the full pack of cubes, like the jelly.
Yeah. A lot.
Oh,
Make it yourself. Has someone tried to break into your garage?
No, 2 lads bombing it along my road. In their Corsas.
I'm just in the mood for Five Guys because I got it tomorrow for my birthday. And carrot
nice.
cake.
Let's end it on the high note. Happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you.
Is it tomorrow or today? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
When this comes out, it will be today. So tomorrow, but it's tomorrow.
Happy birthday then.
Thank you, man.
Happy birthday today. How old are you today?
20 today.
He's getting old. They grow up so fast.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So we end it there then?
Yeah, man, we lost half the fucking chat anyway, like an hour ago. So apparently his phone died. I'm not having that. The hamster stopped spinning, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is. Let's keep that going. That's why his internet doesn't work now. Guys, thank you for listening to another episode of Off the Script podcast.
Whoa. Before we go, do you guys want to plug anything? Jack Richardson first.
Yes.
My Instagram handle is jack.richardson_1. My coaching is Imperium Online Coaching. And that's pretty much me.
My Instagram is Jack_Thorburn. More details on like coaching, etc. is on there. So if you drop me an email off that. Yeah, that's about it really.
Right, sound sick.
I'm going to start plugging myself as well. So if you need any artwork doing, JZ Designs on Instagram.
There you go.
And that's the end of the show. So there you
Thank you for watching. All right, guys. See you.
See ya.
Like, share, and subscribe. You got to do that.
I'm not doing that.
And on that bombshell.
No, we ain't doing that.